We did the Super Bowl. It was iconic, like Shakira, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, J-Lo.
Pero qué horas son, qué fue lo que pasó, porque Farru tiene el carro parqueado en la habitación.
The creative process with 6am. I remember Sky was with Farruko because that day, I don't know where I was, and they started the idea in Medellin, and when I came back, they showed me what they had. I'm like, this is crazy, so I immediately, start writing, and it feels like a hit since the first moment we recorded it. Sí, claro, porque el video era una fiesta súper loca, como que hay una persona que había caído como en paracaídas en el techo y es una fiesta como esa de la película Hangover. Es que fue un momento muy importante porque cambió todo para nosotros y para Sky, y para Bull, y para Mosty, y para nuestra familia. Nuestra vida tomó un camino diferente, bien bonito. Reggaeton was kind of like disappearing for a second in US, and I was really concerned about it, but not just because US in general, And we did this song with Farruko. We recorded in Medellin, and it was beautiful because that's basically when reggaeton got back in US with a lot of power, and it was coming from Colombia. That's like a big thing. As Colombia was a game-changing situation, So, beautiful moment, first #1 in Billboard. Yeah, it's such a blessing.
La 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 la. Francia, Colombia, Houston, freeze.
Willie Williams sent me the beat, and I heard him like, this is a hit. Like, let's go to the studio right now and let's do this. I remember it was just too easy to make it. I wrote that in seconds because it just felt that, like I had a tattoo that says Mi Gente way before the song. It's crazy, that song changed our life in a whole different level because that's when my sound and our sound got on a real global scale. Yeah, it wasn't about Latinos no more since that day. A couple of weeks after I was the most listened artist in the planet, that was also a huge statement. I always wanted to take Latinos out of the box. Always. That's always been my vision, and always gonna be. And that's when I'm like, you see, we're global. And it's in Spanish. Because back in the days, Latin artists, they had to make the crossover doing the same songs in English, which I respect. Maybe that was the necessity at that time, but I always knew I wanted to do it in Spanish, and it happens. It's crazy because I remember I was in the studio, and when Melissa, shout out to Melissa, she was in the studio, and she, someone told me she was with Beyonce as an assistant. And she said, like, yeah, they just play your songs in Beyonce house all the time, and Mi Gente is like all the time. Lou is listening to a song like 2 million times, like, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm like, I know what we're gonna do. Tell Beyonce what's up. And then I received the call. It's like, Beyonce's gonna jump in the remix. And I just couldn't even believe that. She also rapped in Spanish, which is another beautiful statement. And then I performed with her at Coachella, which was another new statement because the first time a urban Latin artist doing Coachella, and I think it was the first time that an African-American female was performing in Coachella too. So it was a beautiful moment for us as minority to be together in the name of music. So what a beautiful moment because like I had the chance to talk to Beyonce and see her human side. And sometimes I never meet your idols. But in this case, it was beautiful. We did the Super Bowl with J-Lo. Also, Shakira and Bad Bunny was there, so it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment for the Latin culture. One of my most happiest days in my career, and also in my life, because I felt that, and shout out to JC also, because like he always had the vision, and make culture and statement moves, and there was definitely one. And it was crazy, and also it was crazy that I knew 6 months before, and it was a top secret. So like, not even to my mom. Like, I just kept it for myself. I'm like, and it was beautiful. J-Lo, she behaved like a queen with me. I'm never gonna forget that she sent me flowers after the show, and I went to a hotel. I just cannot believe this. It was iconic, you know, like Shakira, Bad Bunny, J Balvin, J-Lo. That was crazy. But listen, I think we have to unlock a new Super Bowl, a reggaeton one. Yes. I'm a visionary. Check that out.
I said I like it like that.
I said I like it like that.
So we were in Miami. I think we were recording Oasis at that time with Bad Bunny. They sent us the song and we love it, and we immediately record. And I remember that I went to the president of her label, and they pick another single. And I'm like, guys, I think you're making a mistake. When the album came out, they dropped another single. And then I received the call like 2 days after, like, you were right. That's the single. I told you. I'm not gonna come to your office just to say this is the single. It's because I really felt that it was gonna be. And that was our first Hot 100. Crazy. Cardi was pregnant and nobody knew. So we knew, but not the public, you know. So she had like a big dress and everything. So like, it was cool to be like, we have a secret here. Cardi, Benito, and myself. It's a good, great moment.
Si necesitas reggaetón, dale. Sigue bailando, mami, no pare. Acércate a mi pantalón, dale.
Esa es una canción que creo que revolucionó muchísimo el reggaetón, porque en ese momento nadie estaba utilizando la palabra reggaetón. Parecía que estaba como vetada en diferentes países o no lo veían bien. Y a mí me parecía una locura porque el reggaetón siempre ha sido la música favorita de los latinos en general, y que los mismos artistas en algún momento no estuvieran llamando el género por su nombre, pues yo me lo tomé muy personal porque soy súper fan del reggaetón, y decidimos hacer una canción que dice: si necesitas reggaetón, dale. Y otro gran cambio dentro de la música y un game changer muy importante. Y Sky estuvo con Faith trabajando, y llegué y me mostraron la canción y yo, wow. Y al principio no me gustó, cero me gustaba. I hated it. It was just like kind of like funny to me. Pero Sky tiene un buen sentido, un great taste, y empecé a volver a escuchar, y la escuché, y dale, escúchala otra vez. Así que yo dije, you know what, this is good. Shout out to J Balvin and Sky and the whole family and Faith. All the artists that I dreamed to work with, you know, listen, that was like when a lot of artists started, you know, asking for features and things like that, which was like crazy to me. So I was like, you know what, like I gotta give joy to my inner kid, and let's bring all these guys that I always dreamed to work with in one song. And it was so beautiful. I couldn't even believe that. Rap Yankee, Zion, Chandel, Nicki, Arca, you know, the whole squad. So there's two remixes. It's the Spanish one and the Portuguese one with Anita. She DM'd me on Instagram, and I already knew about her, but I think she was in Spain. Like, oh, I'm listening to your song right here in Spain, it's crazy. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, she's like, let's do a remix. And I say, of course, you know, like I always like to collab with different cultures, and I have so much respect for Anita because she's definitely the big boss.
Entra no meu ritmo, sente o magnetismo, meu jogo de sedução. É perigo, nada é proibido.
Energía fue un álbum hermoso, creo que fue un álbum que realmente presentó al mundo realmente de qué estamos hechos y cuál era nuestra visión como equipo, porque un equipo muy sólido, Sky, Bull, Mosty y yo, y lo grabamos en Los Ángeles, la primera vez que nosotros viajábamos juntos a trabajar. Alquilamos una casa y una casa muy grande para nosotros en ese momento, no era como, ¿qué es esto? Y todo era como irreal, como que no podíamos creer, además como que esa misma semana conocimos a Pharrell Williams, porque ahí Safari está en Energía. Entonces como claro, fuimos al estudio con Pharrell, estábamos todos como starstruck, así que no la podíamos creer. Conocimos muchos compositores que admiramos, conocimos muchísima gente y es un álbum que lo disfrutamos muchísimo, lo trabajamos demasiado, largas jornadas, pero con mucha pasión y valió la pena porque siento que es como un álbum que es como que un must de la cultura reggaeton. That's when we came out with our first logo with the Thunderbolt and the smiley with Milkman, a great creative director from Mexico. So in Energía is when we found like our aesthetic of how we wanted to market our brand, you know, on every way, musically and visually.
Toda la noche rompemos, al otro día volvemos.
I was in LA. will.i.am invited me to his studio. He showed me the song, and I immediately wrote it. I recorded it, and that was beautiful because that was kind of like a comeback for Black Eyed Peas, and making part of that because I love Black Eyed Peas. Like I grew up listening to everything, so that was a beautiful moment. And then we shot the video in Turks and Caicos with Colin Tilley, the director, and will.i.am is someone that I admire a lot. He's such a visionary. It's not just music, it's technology. He's a great entrepreneur. And it's more than a pleasure to work with Will.
¿Qué pretendes tú llamándome hasta ahora? Esa actitud.
¿Qué pretendes? Eso fue lo que decidimos todos como equipo. ¿Qué pretendes tú llamándome hasta ahora? Se sentía que esa tenía que ser la primera canción y nos funcionó.
Cantamos bien borrachos, que bailamos bien borrachos, nos besamos.
Y después cuando salió el álbum, la canción se nos salió de las manos. Sabíamos que era especial, pero no sabíamos que iba a ser tan especial, porque yo creo que la canción va a ser la canción, ¿no? Como que it's gonna be written in the reggaeton books. I'm sure about that. ¿Qué pretendes? Lo grabamos en Puerto Rico. En Puerto Rico está muy altas horas de la noche, pero lo disfrutamos mucho. Y la canción fue aquí en New York, en un teatro, en un bar teatro, y sí. Recuerdo que me salía mucho a mí la canción porque yo estaba en un momento que como que broke up with my girl, como que había terminado con ella, so estaba triste y tenía mucho sentido cantar la canción y grabar el video ese día. Me sirvió. Great project. First time two artists from a different country work together on a reggaeton project. And you know, we made this for the culture. And we did this album really fast. We did it in Miami, his team, my team, our people, and the vibe was so beautiful. You know, it's never done before. One Puerto Rican and one Colombian doing an album together on a really great moment for Latinos to keep elevating the bar. That only happened one time, and that's a statement, Oasis. Carol called me and she said like she wants me in the remix, and of course I never have a no for her, so since day one, whatever she needs, I was gonna be for her, you know. So she asked me, and of course, yeah, I said yes, let's go. And I think she asked Nikki, and And then I was like, hey, Nikki, we're together again. We have a lot of fun because like we were supposed to do something, but me and Nikki are like two kids, so we're like just like fooling around the whole video. But it came out amazing. I knew she was gonna make it. I knew it. I can see in her eyes the passion she talks about what she wanted, and I knew the struggle she had. Because she had to struggle a lot. Every 100 years, you know, it's one artist that came up and it's like, wow, right? It feels like she's like that artist, but it took her a lot of time to be where she at. So what I'm saying is like, it's absolutely self-made.
Bum, 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 bum.
That album was so special. We made the whole album here in New York. We always wanted to work with Tiny because we met Tiny when we were doing Energia in LA with Yandel. So we were both, again, me and Sky, we were starstruck. And I'm like, guys, let's do an amazing album. It's gonna be, the name's gonna be Vibras. So yeah, all the features we have, Zion Lennox, we have Rosalia, you know, we knew she was gonna be one of the greatest. Anita with Machica, Wishing Yandel, of course, Es Peligrosa. Yeah, but Vibras also, and it had a beautiful minimalistic cover that really changed the whole vibe and set the bar of like what we wanted it. I remember Virgil Abloh, rest in peace. He came to me once, it was like in a fashion event. He came to me, he's like, how does it feel to have the coolest album cover of the year? I'm like, oh man, if you're saying it, mission accomplished.
Miren cómo te recorro el cuerpo entero. Baby, tú solo sigue. Hoy y mañana, por siempre, mi amor.
Ed Sheeran, I met him in New York. I was in the gym and I'm like, is that Ed Sheeran? And I was like checking like his tattoos in Instagram. And left tattoo, I'm like, oh, that's Ed Sheeran. And Ed Sheeran was also doing the same. He was looking for my tattoos, the right side. Because he like looked back and he was looking my right. It's like, so when he was on the way out, he's like, Jay? And I'm like, Ed? And like, oh, you know, finally we met, you know, I'm meeting you and everything. And then we had coffee. We went, talk about life. We didn't even talk about music. And then we kept talking through email. Because, you know, he don't use a cell phone, he uses just an email. So one day he was in New York, I'm like, yeah, let's do something. And he was so great about it. So we went to the studio, we recorded 2 songs. And after that, then I'm like, I remember I was in Colombia and I'm like, bro, like we have 2 songs. Why don't we do like 1 more? And we like drop it like a little EP. He's like, man, well, it's better we make an album. And I'm like, what? So we have like 20 songs already. Hopefully we're gonna drop that next year. And he's a person that I love and I admire him. It's cool to see him singing in Spanish and in the album, it's a lot of him in Spanish, but also in English too. It's like the best of both worlds. We're recording in the studio in Paris, so it's a great project. And I think that's gonna be the first time that something happened like that too. You know, like a Latino artist with, you know, English and Spanish, you know, UK and Colombia. It's never done before, so I love to do things that I've never done before.
Yo estaba en la disco perreando cuando con ella me envolví, sí.
We shot the video in Italy, but I received the song when I was in Medellin. So I recorded the song. They told me all the guys were gonna be in the song. When they tell me what artists are there, like I normally don't ask, you know, like they told me like that's great. I respect all of them and think they're great, so let's do it. And when I was on tour in Sardinia, and I mean in Europe, living in Italy, I received a call from Anuel's team, so like, you know, like we need to shoot this video. And I'm like, man, I'm in Italy. That's the only way you guys come to where I'm staying and I can be part of it. Like I wanna be there, guys, but I'm in Italy. So I'm all of yours, but you gotta come here to Sardinia. And they send the production team, and so when you watch the video, check it. You're like, It's one world, and the other one is when I showed up. But definitely a beautiful moment. Great song.
Mi mujer me estaba llamando, pero yo no contesté. Porque ella estaba contigo peleando. Baila, placata, placata, como ella lo mueve, sin parar, sin parar.
Gion, an artist from Aruba, he sent me the beat. I immediately start writing. I wrote the song and I just like, you know what, this is for Nikki. This is for Nikki. Like, I want Nikki to have this song. And I sent it to him. He loved it. And then the rest is history. Remember, we did a Billboard cover together. People never saw that before, of like that, the competition really getting along. It's kind of weird more in our genre. So I just brought my vibe, my Colombian vibe, and he brought also a really beautiful energy, and we create this beautiful team. And since then we're really close friends. I love Nicky Jam with my whole heart. I love to see my people winning. X's music video, the choreographer, she came up with the idea of the dance. And once again, me and Nikki making jokes. Everything was jokes and jokes, jokes and jokes. Director going crazy, but also laughing with us. I cherished that moment because we knew it was gonna be a beautiful project.
Y no te voy a negar.
So now that I'm dropping this new album and I'm basically feel like I'm a new artist, and I'm enjoying those moments that I didn't enjoy that much at that time, because let's say everything was just, it's been 12 years nonstop, if I'm not mistaken, with a lot of number ones during my whole career and different statements, but I feel that it went too fast, and it seems that I didn't enjoy the way I should. This is the best moment that you can make me those questions, because it really makes me value even more what I have done for the culture. So thank you for those questions.